What's wrong? What's wrong, Rob? Tell me. Don't cry. What's wrong? Rob, what's wrong? You confused? Tell us. Talk to us.
I'm sad because I don't even want to sit down because
Oh, Rob.
saying I don't buy any of that. I'm smart enough to understand what's going on. Whatever you're trying to do and say and bring up isn't gonna happen.
My whole thing is my anger, a lot of it stems from like the working environment because they all kind of put this cloud on me like I'm a loser.
What do you say when people do that?
I mean, I don't say anything because I don't believe it.
But then you blow up later.
But then you
No, I blow up later because when there's a business opportunity, all my mom obviously cares about is the 3 girls. And whenever I say, I want to open up a men's
But mom never helped us with that.
Anyways, she's my mother. And
Okay, hang on for a second.
Hello? Hey, I just got a call from Playboy, and they want you to actually do some more photos. That's amazing. Yeah. And they want some more, showing a little more skin, actually. I knew it. They wanted more nude.
I just thought that they had an amazing shoot. Why do more?
And guess what? The 3rd sex tape or the 2nd they've been trying to play me on, that shit called Santa Barbara Sex. Her mama made us go shoot it for safety. She watched the motherfucker and said, hey, we're gonna go with the first one because the first one is better. It gives my daughter a better look than the 2nd one that I made y'all go do. But you watched it?
It's not about that. It's about you guys don't take it seriously.
About you twisting the truth so that when you do call with a problem, we're not quite sure
All
what
right,
to
whatever.
believe.
I kid around all the time and I joke around all the time, but like at the end of the day, I was trying to tell them I'm stranded and no one's kind of there for me.
You're full of most of the time, and that's exactly why this is happening to you right now.
So yeah, I am not feeling so good.
I care about is like saying yes to my mom, making her happy, doing whatever my sisters want to make them happy. And I feel like when it comes to the easiest thing, they don't overcome me.
The most important thing about Rob Kardashian's Instagram account is that it says here, Robert Kardashian does not post this account. Account is run by Jenner Communications.
Now y'all know Rob Kardashian, the only son in the Kar Jenner circus, has been a ghost for what feels like forever. But baby, the streets are talking and the tea is scalding. Word is, the Kar Jenner crew tried to pull Britney and put Rob under conservatorship. And to top it off, they banned him from seeing his own daughter over some alleged debts. Insiders are saying Rob's been feeling straight up betrayed, tossed aside by his own blood, like they were willing to throw him to the wolves just to keep that fame game strong. It's almost like they wiped him from their public storylines. His name barely even comes up, and fans, they're side-eyeing and worrying about what's really going on with him. The drama hit a new level last year when whispers about Rob supposedly oding on meds sent shockwaves through his loyal followers. Folks were pointing fingers at the whole Kar Jenner clan, accusing them of neglect so deep they'd risk his well-being to keep their empire intact. But you know Kris, the queen of spin, pulled her usual strings, and poof, the big outlets didn't breathe a word about it. But hold up, there's more. Fans have been putting on their detective hats, and what they found is wild. Mama Kris, the puppet master herself, might have had her hand in Rob's weight struggles. And sis, let's not forget Kim, who's been called out for clowning him and body shaming like it's a sport. All these family games reportedly pushed Rob into a deep depression, feeling alone and double-crossed.
What's wrong? What's wrong, Rob? Tell me. Don't cry. What's wrong? Rob, what's wrong? You confused? Tell us. Talk to us.
I'm sad because I don't even want to sit down because
Oh, Rob.
saying I don't buy any of that. I'm smart enough to understand what's going on. Whatever you're trying to do and say and bring up isn't gonna happen.
The million-dollar question everyone's whispering about, what's really up with Rob Kardashian these days? Did the Kar Jenner squad seriously pull Britney Spears on him and try to lock him away? Oh, honey, buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into all the messy, shady business of how the Kar Jenners treat their sons like afterthoughts while cashing in big on their daughters.
My whole thing is my anger, a lot of it stems from like the working environment because they all kind of put this cloud on me like I'm a loser.
What do you say when people do that?
I mean, I don't say anything because I don't believe it.
But then you blow up later.
But then you
No, I blow up later because when there's a business opportunity, all my mom obviously cares about is the 3 girls. And whenever I say, I want to open up a men's
But
store.
mom never helped us with that.
Anyways, she's my mother. And
Okay, hang on for a second.
Now, have you peeped how these ladies barely post their boys, but stay parading their daughters around like they're shiny new purses? And who do you think started this whole messy pattern? None other than the original puppet master, Kris Jenner. If you were tuned into the Keeping Up with the Kardashians drama back in the day, you already know Kris had tunnel vision when it came to Rob. He was basically invisible while she hustled hard to mold her daughters into money-making machines, especially her star players, Kim and Kylie. And don't think Kim didn't jump to Kris's defense too. She claimed Kris just doesn't know the first thing about raising sons.
I feel bad for her that like all of us are really mean to her when like it's not her fault. And that's why I always have her back, because I don't think it's her fault. I think she just doesn't know how to raise like a son that well. That was like Dad's thing. She does what she can with the girls. That's her thing. Girls. You know, it's like hard to explain.
But let's keep it a buck, y'all. We know exactly what Kim was trying to say. It's not that Kris doesn't know how to raise boys, it's that she doesn't know how to cash in on them. Let's be real, the Kar Jenner empire was built on one thing: playing up their looks to the max for that male gaze, and every move they make has to come with a side of sexy. Case in point, check out that Kylie baby ad where Kylie's selling baby products but showing up all dolled up, throwing seductive looks at the camera. Like, sis, who exactly are you marketing this to? And even when these women snap photos with their daughters for IG, they're posing like they're at a Vogue shoot. It's beyond strange. Kourtney's really the only Kardashian mom who stays out of that cringe territory. But Kim, Khloe, and Kylie, oh, they're notorious for putting their daughters' whole lives on blast across social media. And let's not act surprised. This is straight from the Kris Jenner playbook. Mama Kris was the one who trained them to chase perfection and play up their looks from day one. If social media had been popping like it is now back in the day, Kris's Instagram would have been a blueprint for Kim, Khloe, and Kylie's feeds. But since she didn't have IG, she had to get creative in capitalizing on her daughter's beauty. So what did Kris do? Well, y'all, Kris didn't just stop at running the show. She had Kim and Kylie stepping into the pages of Playboy. And even when Kim felt uneasy about showing too much, Kris turned on that momager pressure and got her to do a second shoot with even less left to the imagination.
Hello? Hey, I just got a call from Playboy, and they want you to actually do some more photos.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and they want some more, showing a little more skin, actually.
I knew it. I knew it. They wanted more nude. I just thought that I had an amazing shoot. Why do more?
And we can't forget the infamous tape with Kim and Ray J. Word on the street is that Kris was pulling strings behind the scenes. Ray J even spilled that they recorded not 1, but 2 tapes before Kris had them make a 3rd just in case. And if that ain't wild enough, she supposedly watched all 3 to choose the one that made Kim look her best.
And guess what? The 3rd sex tape or the 2nd they've been trying to play me on, that shit called Santa Barbara sex. Her mama made us go shoot it for safety. She watched the motherfucker and said, hey, we're gonna go with the first one because the first one is better. It gives my daughter a better look than the second one that I made y'all go do. But you watched it?
Yep, a whole mama out here reviewing her daughter's private tapes to figure out how to flip it into a money move. But when it comes to Rob, oh, Kris's energy switches real quick. She didn't even blink at what he was doing with his career. Even now that Rob's a dad himself, Kris is way more focused on keeping her spotlight shining than helping Rob. But let's get into something even shadier. Rob didn't just fade into the background. He dipped out of the family's reality show and practically vanished from all their big events. Birthdays, holidays, weddings. Rob's seat at the table's been empty, and now the rumors are spilling over. Folks are saying the Kar Jenners might have tried to pull Britney and place Rob under conservatorship thanks to their cozy ties with Lou Taylor, the puppet master behind Britney's own ordeal. And the conspiracy theories don't stop there. Some fans are taking it a step further, claiming that the Kar Jenners actually sacrificed Rob's happiness for their fame and fortune. If you were watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians back in the day, you'd you'd remember when Rob was a solid part of the show. Even then, he had struggles, dealing with weight gain and fighting off mental health battles. But now, fans have dug up even more jaw-dropping tea about just how deep the family's treatment of Rob goes. People have been pointing fingers at Kris Jenner for letting Rob's weight issues spiral, while Kim supposedly took it a step further, clowning him and throwing shade about his body, pushing him deeper into unhealthy habits. The vibe in that family was toxic, to say the least, and it's said to have driven Rob into a heavy depression, feeling cut off and betrayed by the very people who should have had his back. The real drama kicked off in 2012 when Rob started putting on weight after a messy split from pop star Rita Ora, but for those really paying attention, it was clear that the extra pounds were just the start of bigger problems. Fast forward to July 2013, and Rob was letting the cameras see behind the curtain. In a heart-to-heart with Khloe's then hubby Lamar Odom, Rob opened up about how his weight wasn't just a number on the scale, it was a full-on blow to his self-worth, sending him down a dark path. He admitted that with each pound he gained, a piece of his confidence crumbled, leaving him feeling more alone and lost than ever. But the kicker? His own mom and sisters were reportedly so embarrassed by him that they mocked him and wouldn't even let him be photographed next to them. It was wild.
Frustrating to me that, like, I'm not happy going out if I'm not in good shape. So if I don't get this together, then I won't want to, like, hang around everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I want.
During that rough chapter for Rob, fans' hearts went out to him. They saw a man clinging to Lamar for some sort of support, probably because there was no one else to turn to. His mother and sisters? They were way too caught up worrying about how Rob's appearance would mess with their carefully crafted image to actually care about what he was going through. Let's be real. Those Kard Jenner women are obsessed with looking flawless. They're so caught up in chasing perfection that without their looks, they'd be struggling to find anything else to bring to the table. And for Rob, that obsession was a whole other kind of nightmare. Paparazzi were relentless, hounding him like vultures every time he dared to step outside. They'd fire off invasive, cruel questions about his weight and turn it into a media circus. Imagine stepping out and being met with a frenzy of camera flashes and loud reporters, all hunting for a piece of your pain. Between the family pressure and the media's ruthless games, Rob found himself in the middle of a perfect storm. Each pound he put on was like handing the tabloids ammo. Every public appearance was a battlefield, and even his most vulnerable moments got flipped and sold for the next episode of the family's reality show.
Rob, why are you gaining so much weight, man? Movie role or something?
Even the most loyal Kardashian stans turned on Rob, dragging him on social media and turning his struggles into viral memes. The mockery online was brutal, and it pushed Rob even deeper into that dark place he was already fighting. Things hit a low point in May 2014 when Rob took to Twitter with a post that said, "So I found out I was trending for being fat? Thank you all, it really made my day." The constant online jabs cut Rob deep, and he eventually turned to Twitter to show just how bad the cruelty was eating at him. He wrote, "No one will ever understand how much it hurts." Around that time, the streets were buzzing with whispers that Kris Jenner was trying to send Rob off to some fancy weight loss camp right before Kim and Kanye's wedding. Word was she hit him with an ultimatum, saying he needed to drop at least 70 pounds before the big day. And if you thought that was harsh, sources spilled even more piping hot tea. One insider told Star magazine that Kris straight up humiliated Rob, allegedly telling him she called him a fat slob and said he's losing out on business opportunities because no one wants someone as huge as him representing their products. The insider didn't hold back. Star magazine also claimed that Rob's sisters were out here playing mean games, leaving candy and cookies all over the place just to taunt him and test his willpower. Messy, right? So of course Rob felt like his own family turned their backs on him, leaving him high and dry when he needed them the most. For Rob, life is more than just a business deal. The source spilled even more tea, saying that the rumor mill was buzzing with word that it was actually Kim who kicked Rob to the curb and banned him from her wedding to Kanye in Italy. Apparently, Kim was worried that Rob's presence would mess up her perfect wedding photos. As the big big day drew closer, the drama got real. Just days before the ceremony, Rob dipped out of Italy, and the paparazzi caught him in tears at the airport. That moment set off a firestorm of speculation, with folks accusing the Jenners of treating Rob like an afterthought.
Why did you skip the wedding, Robert? Robert, can you tell us why you skipped the wedding? Robert, are you and your family fighting, Robert?
TMZ even got in on it, claiming Rob left after a huge family blow-up. But Kim wasn't having it. She swooped in with some quick damage control, denying any blowout and insisting Rob left on his own terms. Fans? They weren't buying it. They came for Kim, calling her a narcissist and accusing her of twisting the story to make Rob look like the bad guy. Let me know what you think in the comments below.